represented, as well as we made sure there were no gaps. We didn't miss something. Where does Dropbox fall into? Where does web services fall into? Make sure that we looked at technology and the services across UCSF, and we didn't miss a gap. So they've been meeting for about, this is now about 9 months. So they met and they prioritized a lot of IT projects. So what the slides will be presented to ITGC was basically a summary of that information. And as you see, this is it's a bit small to see, but on the top, and you're going to get copies of the slides. I believe actually Ella's already sent them out, so you'll have them in your inboxes. So the top is the steering committee, which I mentioned. And then under the subcommittee, we've got from right to left, we have the CTA group. We have the business applications group led by Anya. We have the research systems group led by Tom Farron, who's actually a PI, and he's the chair of the group. We have the education group that's led by Joe Castro. And then finally the clinical group that's led by John Roberts and Ron. They're both physicians. So as you can see, we're from about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, governance existed, but it was very sporadic, it was very fragmented, and to be honest, besides the medical center, it was very non-effective. So what you're seeing now is actually a culmination of the governance bodies that were in the School of Medicine, of course, the campus side, as well as the medical center. And you've seen a convergence of all those governing bodies that govern IT systems and priorities and budgets into one cohesive organization. So we're the team on the right side, and as I mentioned, we've established a lot of subgroups, and that's what you're going to see on the right. We've got subgroups on security policy, identity, architecture of applications, architecture of infrastructure, and so on. These are subcommittees I mentioned. One of the things we did is, as you can imagine, the number of projects across UCSF is over 200 at any given time. So what we didn't want to present to ITGC is an overwhelming number of list of projects. It just doesn't serve the right purpose. So we just picked the top 4 or 5 projects, and that's what we presented to them. What you guys will get by the end of the day today, hopefully, or maybe tomorrow, is a list of all those projects that we're working on. So we actually have now a roadmap of all those projects broken down by some of these categories, so that you actually know what all the projects are in progress. Again, it's not, I would say it's 100% because that'd be huge, but it's probably 90% of the main projects that we're working on. So then on the infrastructure side, we said, we need to focus on a couple of building blocks, and that's the network speed. That's a